Of course, you should take time off to recharge, especially after a busy day. But not everybody does that all the time. So before we dive into the topic of today, let's watch tip 7 again. Here we go. When I had my second burnout, the main reason was actually this. I wanted to be connected all the time, and I wanted to show the people around me that I was on top of things. So I would check email and instant messaging from work every waking hour of the day. And I used to wake up super early, like 5 a.m., go to the gym, and then go to bed pretty late. And I would check on my instant messages and email throughout the day. Even if I would be in the gym, even if I would have breakfast, lunch, dinner, or indeed watching television, which I supposed to spend time with my family and my dear ones. But I didn't do it. I thought work was so important. So I can really relate to the inclination or the desire to be connected and to stay always on. And let's face it, our economy revolves 24/7, and especially when you work in an international company, you will have people reach out to you. At times, you should be spending time off. Or people have a different work rhythm. You might be an early bird or a night owl, and that alone determines when you will be most active. But if you want to cater to everybody's needs, if they're a night owl or an early bird, and you also want to factor in the different time zones, you will not have a moment where you can disconnect, and you will not have a moment where you can rest. So again, I totally get it. It's super tempting and almost expected these days that you are always on. But let me offer you some strategies how to change that. Unless you think it's super healthy, then let's end the discussion here. But if you see my point and you actually want to change a thing or two, let me show you some examples and tips how to combat that desired inclination to be always on and checking your emails and instant messages. Number 1, start asking the question to yourself more often: why do I need to respond right now? If you learn yourself that behavior, that question asking yourself before you even pick up the phone or the laptop, you will actually train your body and mind to stand still and be cognizant of the fact that you are now investing time and energy in something that's work related, where actually you should spend time on recharging and recovering. So ask the question next time you have the urge to do something for work and it's like the weekend or an evening, ask yourself, do I need to do it right now? And the second question that follows is, what happens if I'm not replying right now? Or what will happen if I don't jump on that message right now? Most cases, if you're super honest with yourself, nothing. It can wait a couple hours. It can wait a day. There's nothing so urgent that it requires you to take action right away. So next time, 2 questions. 1, do I need to respond right now? 2nd, what happens if I don't do it? Let's move on to the second strategy. Understand and remind yourself continuously that you have a rhythm and other people have a rhythm, and that those rhythms not necessarily are synced. What I mean by that, if you're a morning person and you like to do stuff in the morning, you might do a lot of emails in the morning, and in the afternoon you will actually be a bit more quiet. People that wake up later because they have a different rhythm will start producing that work later in the afternoon. And again, if it's an email which is an asynchronized way of communicating, that's perfectly fine. It would be different if people were actually calling, because then you would really be out of sync. But understand that people have a rhythm, you have a rhythm, and it's fine to have that. You don't need to accommodate everybody's rhythm, let alone everybody's time zone. It's okay. The third, the two strategies I just gave you come from cognitive behavior therapy, which is actually training the body and brain to do something else. But you also use, of course, technology. There are many apps that prevent you doing too much on the screen, measuring screen time, or actually block certain apps and certain notifications. I use those. So there are no notifications coming in before 8 a.m. in the morning and after 7 p.m. in the afternoon or evening. And I think I'm actually gonna switch it to no messages coming in and notifications from 8:30 in the morning till 6 p.m. in the afternoon. It's difficult at the start because you are so used to check your phone for other things. But the very moment you are okay with technology taking over when messages come in, it helps you, but it also helps others, because you will not actually be responding all the time, and they don't feel the need to respond all the time, and everybody calms down a bit. Plus, they know when you're off and on, and they should not or should respect a reply from you. That brings me to tip number 4. Also using technology, but then scheduling. If for whatever reason you're a morning person and it's, 6 or 7 a.m. and you want to do some work, why not schedule that message to be sent later, like 9 or 10 that morning? Or if you're an evening person and you have an idea, why don't you be mindful to others around you and schedule that message to be sent in the morning instead of in the same evening? There is no need to send every single message right here and right now. You can actually schedule that. Better for your mental health, better for the people around you, for their mental health. And we're just elevating our awareness of that everybody has a different rhythm. Tip number 5, it's also a bit behavioral. Put your phone and laptop in a room where it's not convenient to grab it when you want it. So for instance, you're on the couch, like I am in this tip, and you want to check something. But if you need to get up into a different room, perhaps even open up a cupboard, or go through some stuff in the cupboard, you increase the boundary and enrich the boundary for you to keep doing what you have been doing, which is checking your email. Because if it's harder, you might go like, perhaps I don't need it right now. I can wait a bit later. But you can imagine if the phone is next to you or even in your hand, there is no boundary. It's just, a swipe and you're in your email and instant messaging. So put your phone at a place where it's hard to reach and at least it's not convenient for you to check on things. Tip number 6, last one, team up with somebody around you that has the same challenge and implement the agreement that you will check upon each other, every other day or so with one simple question. Are you working hard or are you working smart? I used to have that agreement with a friend and colleague around at work, and every other time we would ask the other person that question. And I could sense that if he asked me that question, are you working hard or are you working smart? And I would give the answer, I'm working hard. I felt almost guilty. And the next time I met him, I didn't want to say I'm working hard. So I did everything possible in that time span to optimize my work and not working super hard, but smart. And smart means that if you are recharged from a day's work, you're a better tool and you have a sharper mind than when you keep running and running and running on the treadmill, because you will not be at your best the day after. So working smart also means make sure that you do the right things right, in the right order, at the right time, and don't be rushing into things all the time. And certainly let not email and instant messaging determine your agenda your state of mind and your mental health. It should be the other way around. You should determine what email and instant messaging kind of role plays in your life. With that, look after yourself and look after each other.